Hi, as I mentioned in the previous video, I think the main thing that's holding me back is the mechanical restriction of my left eye, especially in dynamic situations. So in static situation I can align my eyes quite well, but then when I need to move, there's like the initial fast saccade to hit the target, which usually is not that bad, but then after that usually there's like a slow movement. Like if you study saccades or eye movements, there's always first a fast movement and then like a slower movement to adjust the end result. But in my case, this slower movement, it just makes my eyes drift away from the target, especially with the left eye, I think, or whichever eye I'm not using as my dominant eye. So I can alternate, like, to use either my right eye or my left eye as the dominant eye, and whichever eye I'm not using, that eye after a saccade or any type of movement would drift away from the target, and then obviously you would have a little bit of a double vision and your eyes wouldn't be aligned fully anymore, especially in certain angles are very difficult because I feel this muscle was shortened, so that's part of the issue. That's where I always feel some tugging and some restrictions. And yeah, we could think maybe it's irreversible damage, but on the other hand, I think like the more you do it, there must be some kind of evolution that makes it better, right? Like if you really go and confront the thing that you're not good at and keep doing it, at some point, yeah, you must start to move or to change, or you just keep hitting a brick wall, which is also possible because I've been trying for so long. But I have this renewed glimmer of hope, and I'm thinking to, for example, do every day, do 3 times a day, do 100 saccades or eye stretches, for example, as one of the things in my routine. And I can really see, like I can feel the effect after I do the 100 eye stretches. I kind of feel my vision a little bit unstable. So that means, yeah, my eyes are drifting away a little bit after doing the effort. So I'm confronting an area that's a weak point, which is good. And particularly today, for example, I did 3 hours of gardening using a heavy chainsaw. So I'm a little bit tired now. So that could also have an effect on my vision. So that makes this video and this example more realistic, right? Because you cannot always be super well rested. So I thought just for this video, let's do some eye stretches as a demonstration of my current visual situation. So with my glasses, my eyes are definitely always more aligned. In the previous video, I didn't have eyeglasses on, so you could probably see more of the misalignment. So the camera here has like a little light to focus on, and basically they're very close. So I have a little bit of double vision, but the lights are very close to one another. There's just like a little bit of a vertical height difference. So I see 2 little lights. And I'm gonna do the eye stretches with the glasses, without the glasses, and then with an eye patch. Where's that patch? Like this transparent but blurry patch makes your vision, like, makes it frosted. You cannot see anything clearly. You wouldn't be able to execute any tasks with it. But at least the eye that's not used or is not dominant can catch some light. So let's start with the glasses. this should be the easiest. Yeah, so I shouldn't move my head, obviously. So on this side, it's kind of annoying because I'm with the fast. When you do a saccade, there's like the fast movement and then the slower adjustment movement to the final adjustment. And so the fast saccade is quite good. But then I can see in the slower adjustment movement that my eye drifts away, further away. And there's a horizontal and a vertical deviation. I lost count, but let's do another 20. Let's try without the glasses. That's okay. Actually, now the little light is not doubling up anymore. So without the glasses, somehow it's easier because the plus lenses of my glasses pull out my eyes a little bit. That's just the effect of the plus lens. And then I guess without the glasses, it's easier to converge on this little light of the camera. That's nice. So now, looking at this little light of the camera, my eyes are perfectly aligned, which is great. And then in the background, I have physiological diplopia, which is actually how it should be. So the thing, like the thing you're focusing on, should be single, but the thing behind your fixation point should be doubled up. So there's like a frame behind, and the frame is double, and the TV is double. And the thing before, in front of her fixation points, is also doubled up. So yeah, now I can see my finger is doubled up. But I first had to move before it doubled up. Like, so I'm a little bit suppressing at this range. So there's the light is single, the finger is double, and the frame behind the camera is also double, and the TV. So that's perfect. Like, that's how it should be. So in static situation, quite well. I can, like, this is like Brock string kind of exercises. So I can do that quite well. It's definitely right in front of me. Like, the sides are a little bit more difficult. So let's do some eye stretches now without glasses. So in my primary field of gaze, like when looking straight ahead, the alignment is perfect. There's physiological diplopia behind the camera and in front of the camera. But when I look at this side, there's a vertical deviation and a horizontal deviation. So there's a fan there, and the main image of the fan is, yeah. So the second image is lower and to the left of it. So I'm having double vision there, and I can feel the tugging of this muscle here. And if I make an effort to adjust it, I can adjust the horizontal deviation can be improved a little bit, but also by alternating. That's kind of how one way of taking control is maybe try alternating and see if it's better. So then change the eye or the main eye you're using. But yeah, so the horizontal deviation can be improved a little bit, but the vertical one stays. It's very hard to work on. I think if the horizontal movements would be so easy, like the vertical deviation would automatically be cancelled and just go away as well. And if I look at that side, I also have, there's a door there, and the door handle, for example, there's a vertical deviation of the door handle. So one of the handles is lower than the other. But there's only one handle, of course, it's just double vision. So there's also a little bit of a misalignment going on. But so these are the extreme fields of gaze. So obviously the problem is if you have mostly single vision in your primary visual direction, and then you have double vision on the sides, you have a tendency to try to avoid looking at the sides. Especially with glasses, you have like a little bit of the frame there. So yeah, you kind of keep looking straight ahead, and you become kind of like a head locker, as they call it in Fixing My Gaze. So instead of moving your eyes, you would always move your head as in its entirety, which, yeah, like if you keep doing that, you're kind of degrading your ability to use eye movements compared to using head movements, and then, yeah, it's a vicious circle, right? That's why maybe just for using your peripheral vision more and to avoid this kind of head locking problem, sometimes they recommend using contact lenses. But in my case, with my hyperopia, I've tried contact lenses, but I haven't felt it was very, just the clarity of my vision was not, I couldn't see clearly. And the thing with being farsighted or hyperopic is that accommodation is not really the problem anyway. I would be using these contact lenses rather to influence my eye alignment rather than having clear vision. But anyway, so there's a problem at the extremes. But I think if I keep confronting this problem and keep doing the eye exercises, over eye stretches, these are very basic eye exercises, but something I feel confronts my points of weakness. And then after, like, let's say I've done my eye stretches and then I go about doing something else. When I get up and go to the kitchen, for example, I have this kind of short feeling, like wobbly feeling, like, I need to readjust my vision a little bit, and like the ground is shifting a little bit, the floor is shifting underneath my feet. So that means I see that as a positive sign. That means I'm confronting my weakness, and hopefully if I keep confronting this weakness and weak point or weak visual skill, it will improve, right? Like if you try to improve your running stamina, if you keep doing it, hopefully it will improve. I think so. Like, there might be structural damage from the surgeries, but still then you got to work with what you have, and I assume still even then I can make improvements. So we'll see. And yeah, just to be clear, I have already worked on this for many years, so it used to be much worse. Even in a static position, I wouldn't be able to align my eyes and have this physiological diplopia before, in front of, and behind my main point of fixation. So in primary gaze, right in front of me, this is already a big victory that I acquired many years ago now, but I need to keep pushing. Also to not only have this alignment in a static situation, sitting down in primary gaze, but also on the sides or like in other viewing directions and while moving. And if I keep pushing, hopefully this will be so easy that also the perceptual elements will fall into place and will just all happen seamlessly and easily. Yeah, it's one of my dreams, so I should really make this my main priority instead of fighting other battles. If I solve this vision problem, I think many other doors in my life will open up. I will be able to finish many of my projects and even maybe have normal employment, which would be great. Like if I can solve this vision problem, so many opportunities would open up. It's kind of crazy how many things would be within reach. So let's keep trying. I got like that. There's no there's no other way than to keep trying. There's no other avenue to to life, basically. And so now the third way I wanted to do eye stretches was with this eye patch. So my dominant eye, the eye that I use most and that has the best sight, is my right eye, and it also that's the best eye movements. So because it's used the most, so the other eye is kind of it's less developed, or all the functions of this eye are less developed because it used to be a lazy eye, and then now it's not technically lazy anymore, but still in many ways a little bit underdeveloped in its movements and its even eyesight. But with glasses, it's 20/20 vision, but I can feel sometimes when I switch to it, it kind of has to boot. It's like a diesel, this eye. It's slower in its reactions and in the way it captures visual signals or information. So let's force it to be in the driver's seat. So this eye cannot really see it. It can see light, but it's useless now. I cannot do anything. I cannot really see. So now this eye, the not dominant eye, is forced to be the main eye. And then let's do the eye stretches. So now basically I have single vision because I only see with one eye. But when I do this saccade towards that side, I can even see that there's the fast movement, and then the slower adjustment movement. It kind of for like momentarily kind of drifts and then maybe refixates on the target. And if I look at that side, it takes a little while longer to really fixate and to get stable. That's what I mean by it's a diesel. It's slower in its movements and its reactions, and also on how fast it can interpret the visual information that's coming in. But that's more like like when you read, then you really notice. Like just looking at the scene, you don't really notice that it's slower in capturing visual information. And there's also like a little gap here, so I can see that my left eye is fixating on the target, and then the other eye, which usually is the fast main eye, also kind of drifts. So there's the fast movement and like a little bit of a drifting move from that eye. So yeah, basically each eye individually can do what it should, but then once you start trying to use both in this viewing direction, it's like one or the other. And then so this left eye taking the main position already has like kind of a slower movement, but then this eye suddenly also thinks it can go on vacation, and yeah, the vertical deviation is still there, and then to the other side now. So it's a similar eye position, but just a different perception as it used to be before, like as the previous eye stretches. So let's do. I moved my head because I'm getting tired, I guess, of doing the eye movements. So let's do. Yeah, really, there's a big vertical difference going on. And then once I move that way, and then the vertical difference kind of manifests. So it's the initial view is not a big vertical difference or a deviation, and then it kind of moves up in this after the fast saccade, then it moves up in the later stages of the movement. So something really that would be great to get stabilized. Okay, let's do 15 more. I'm really kind of getting tired, which is ridiculous because this is should not be a very demanding activity. So this was 3 types of eye stretches. Hopefully, and now again nicely aligned on the dot. So that's great. Once I do the exercise. Yeah, well, I think it's good to do this several times a day and confront my weakness and really not just keep on my glasses, but really, or go look for the viewing directions that are not stable and not easy to do, and that really double up. And so I need to take a break, and even like take a break from whatever I'm doing and then consciously start doing this. And even if this, let's say I get tired from this exercise, if this negatively impacts whatever I was doing, I should try to accept that my productivity goes down. But I need to really get into this, like, yeah, confront this weakness and not just stay in my comfort zone, visual comfort zone, even though, yeah, overall my vision is not comfortable, but there are things that are easier than some viewing directions, and some activities are easier than others. So you have a tendency to do what you are good at, right? Like normal human being. But so I'm gonna try do this regularly, maybe 3 times a day. If it affects my productivity negatively, I should accept it. I should keep doing it. Hopefully there's some kind of way that I can track progress. Because the thing about the Brock string is that if you have suppression, it helps you to see where you're looking, and you can monitor physiological diplopia in front of your target and behind your target. But I don't really need that because I can have double vision. So the way I would track progress is if my vision gets more singled out. But if it doesn't happen, is there a way to know that it's not getting any closer to nice dynamic alignment? So with when I was training primary gaze and just static eye alignment, it was kind of easy, because then I went in every 2 weeks for training, and then every 6 months we had a with a checkup. So then when I started with maybe 14-degree deviation, and then after 6 months it was halved or something. It was like 8 degrees, and then after another 6 months, so 1 year and a half in total, I had 4 degrees, and then after 2 years 2 degrees, and after 2 years and a half 0 degrees. That was like, it was very motivating because you really checked and measured whatever was going on. But then after that it gets more difficult, because then I still did vision therapy, but we were also worked on a lot of perceptual skills, and I don't feel, maybe I could acquire some kind of stereo vision without having this super easy eye movements and fluent eye movements, but I feel I need it, because that will just open up my vision. And yeah, I'm trying to look soft, but I feel just looking soft without progress in these dynamic eye movements is not gonna do the trick. But I could be wrong. Anyway, I should work on all of them together. So thank you for watching this long video. I hope it was informative and I didn't go on for too long. And thank you, and see you next time, and like and subscribe. Thank you.